In the Quran, there is a chapter or a surah entitled The Ants, Namal. And in this surah, we have an event in the life of Solomon. He is in his kingdom of Israel, in Jerusalem, with the capital, and he learns of the kingdom ruled by a woman in Yemen, Sabah is called, and that she has a gorgeous throne, but they worship the sun. And he sends a message to her, ordering her to worship the one God. And when she receives this message, if you do not do so, we're going to come against you with our armed forces. She then sends a response to him by offering gifts, hoping it'll calm him down. And when he receives the gifts, he says, I don't need this. What the Lord God has given me is far more valuable. And he then warns them, I'm coming with my armed forces. He then asks the people in his court, who can bring me her throne? Now there's a distance of more than 2,000 kilometers between Jerusalem and Yemen. And one of the jinn who was in the court, but the jinns are of different category, but this one is the most powerful of all. He says, I can bring you that throne before you rise from your throne, from your court here. In other words, the jinn, these unseen beings, they have the capacity to travel from Jerusalem to Yemen at great speed. And they also have the capacity to move objects through space at great speed to bring that throne here. If the jinn can do that, they can do that with military technology. You can get a bullet to travel at great speed. You can get a missile to travel at great speed. And the jinn are working with Dajjal. And this is the explanation of that part of the scientific and technological revolution which came to Western civilization, which gave it a military ascendancy in the world. The world had never seen a gun before, and a bullet traveling at that speed. Your sword in your hand is of no use to you anymore. If he has a gun and he can shoot you from a distance, before you can raise your sword. So a new military technology based on speed. Same thing with travel. You had camels traveling with loads on their backs, and then suddenly you have the steam. And the steam is used for a steam engine. And now you have a train. And the train can take all the loads that 1,000 camels were taken previously. And then you have the combustion engine, and the motor car can travel, and the aircraft can travel. What we see is a movement in the direction of greater speed, constantly greater speed. However, the Quran goes on to say something more. Not only do the jinn have this capacity to travel through space at great speed and move objects through space at great speed, and have transferred this to modern Western civilization, but someone else in the court of Solomon then spoke. And he's not a jinn. And he has access to a book. The Quran does not tell us anything about the book. But what we do know is that this book has in it knowledge which is more advanced to what the jinn have access to. So if the jinn can allow a missile to travel at this speed, if you have access to that book, it'll make this speed of this missile look like peanuts. So there is another world of travel through space and time, which is far, far advanced to anything that modern Western civilization has access to. Whoever accesses that book, the Lord God will choose who will access that book. But there have to be a people with faith. Cannot be a people who say a man can marry another man and get a marriage certificate. We see that already taking place now. That Russia, after the collapse of communism and the Soviet Union, Russia is advancing technologically, missile technology. And the advance that Russia has achieved has already made aircraft carriers obsolete. With Russian missile technology today, an aircraft carrier is a sitting duck, cannot be used in warfare. This appears to be the beginning of an military ascendancy which will come to one part of the world which faithfully worships the Lord God. That they will have speed that mankind has not ever witnessed before in history. This is the future that's coming, okay? This is from the Quran. To look at the subject of speed, the accelerating transformation of the world, from another perspective now. Our Prophet said that that in the end time, time will move faster and faster. A whole year will pass like a month. A whole month will pass like a week. A whole week will pass like a day, etc. And the master plan at work is as time moves faster and faster and faster and faster, it diminishes the capacity of the human mind to think with depth. You can see the same thing on the television screen. That what they do is they move the images on the television screen fast, rapidly. And your mind is therefore damaged when you're looking at the television and you're seeing these images on the screen changing rapidly. The end product is you live on the surface of events. You are trapped in the here and the now. That's all. You lack the capacity to go back in history. You lack the capacity to anticipate what's coming. You are a prisoner of the here and the now. This is part of the process of brainwashing people. This is the rapidly changing world today.